Is there anything more exciting than beautiful thoroughbreds thundering down the track towards the finishing post? We thrill to the skill, experience and courage of the jockeys, and we admire the trainers for the hours of dedication required for each horse. It's a sport loved all around the world for its glamour, action and excitement. But with an average racing thoroughbred weighing 500 kilograms and travelling at 60 kilometres per hour, it's a sport that is also highly dangerous.
At the halfway mark inside the 650, Early Singer in front. Landgarza's down. Landgarza's gone through the inside running rail at about the 650 metre mark.
Okay, well, having seen footage of the incident, you know, it was quite miraculous that I didn't come away with some more severe injuries, and you know, the fact that the horse, you know, took out numerous panels of fencing, and it did appear as though I did strike the running rail with my head area, but still managed to avoid some serious injury, but it could have been catastrophic.
Of all the hazards of the sport, probably the most dangerous thing is the actual running rail itself. Traditionally, they've been made from hardened steel or solid aluminium. They may sometimes be covered in plastic, but they are still unforgiving metal. The uprights can sometimes be embedded in concrete or held in place with large steel spikes, sometimes protruding above the ground. And not only are they dangerously rigid, they are also heavy and cumbersome to move, making it difficult to reconfigure the track and to maintain the valuable turf. But now, there is a totally new rail system that is simply safer, lighter and more flexible. In fact, it's revolutionary. It's MawSafe from Global Barrier Systems, an industry leader and manufacturing innovator. The MawSafe system is named after its inventor, Dan Mawby, who, after witnessing some serious racing accidents, decided to put his mind to work to devise a safer and more flexible running rail. With the manufacturing expertise and quality control of Global Barrier Systems behind it, Dan's invention is revolutionising racecourse safety and management. Global Barrier Systems is recognised for innovative design, precision engineering and groundbreaking technology. The MawSafe system. It's a great example of a breakthrough idea brilliantly manufactured. Why is the MawSafe system so revolutionary? The first thing is the material itself, amazingly durable and highly UV resistant PVC. Next, the rail has a semicircular cross-section for much greater flexibility than existing steel tube construction. The rail will absorb the impact of a horse and rider, significantly reducing the risk of injury and keeping the horse in the race. As seen here, the horse comes into contact with the rail yet continues safely down the track. The unique curved design counteracts the natural instinct of a horse to jump the rail when it comes close to it. The flexibility of the upright means the rail actually raises in height, making the horse believe it is too difficult to jump the rail and far easier to stay on the track.
The introduction of a plastic running rail at Flemington has been credited with preventing a serious injury this afternoon. Approaching the home turn in race 3, the Fugitive and Willie Go Bung collided.
One's gone down at the back of the field too, in fact. The Fugitive, James Winks was the first one to go, and he actually went through the running rail, and fortunately with the new plastic running rails, it did collapse for him.
Let's look closely at the incident again. Notice how the jockey's foot glides along the inside of the rail and does not become hooked up with any of the uprights. The superior safety built into the MawSafe rail design means there are no protrusions and the risk of injury is minimised. With other rail systems, and that includes other PVC rails, there are potentially dangerous protrusions where the upright meets the rail. In this incident, the jockey stayed on the horse and walked away at the end of the race with a few bruises and a scuffed boot.
Yeah, my horse got a pretty severe bump from the outside when the horse ducked in and it fell and pushed us into the run rail. The run rail bent in a fair way. You know, it sort of dislodged me and I half fell off and the horse pushed through the run rail. And yeah, I was pretty much racing on the inside of the pegs for a while, for a few strides there, and then it just bounced me back out and managed to stay on. As my horse bumped into the run rail, I lost my inside eye and my left leg grazed along the inside of the running rail for a good couple of strides. In previous incidents with the aluminium running rail, riders have come out with severe lacerations and amputated limbs. But fortunate in this case with the MawSafe running rail, I've only come off with a couple of scratches and rode a week later.
Yeah, obviously I fell and without this MawSafe running rail, I could have had a lot worse injuries. Obviously the rail gave way and I'm very thankful for it. I was aware of how it worked, but obviously on the day, to the rail's credit again, I never felt the impact of it hitting my back. And yeah, like I said, the quicker we get these into the racetracks all around Australia, the better we'll be. The old style, it's steel. This is a plastic that gives way. The old steel was made and designed to stay in the ground and not move. This is designed to be a running rail, but if there's an incident that occurred like I did, it gives way and protects not only the jockey but the horse as well.
When they first hit the running rail, they generally just hit it, probably take a stride and bounce back off it. It seems to have the effect where it does move in and it helps encourage the horse to come back out. Whereas before the old railing, horses used to get sort of stuck on top like a magnet and it used to be difficult for some horses to get off.
But this is only the beginning of the system's innovation. Another ingenious feature is the kick-out upright. These actually kick out if hit by a fallen jockey, avoiding serious injury. Several uprights can be kicked out in a fall, yet the integrity of the fence will be maintained for the rest of the horses in the race. There are also no loose parts or components that could cause injury. The PVC uprights slip into a metal base. However, unlike old-fashioned steel rail systems, the base is below the track surface, so there is absolutely no risk to horse and rider. The MawSafe system enables track managers to establish a permanent true position footing. These base fittings also become permanent and easily identifiable markers of what is true position on the racecourse. And because the rails are so light and the uprights so easily removed, it's a very simple matter for racetrack maintenance personnel to set up a new rail, a great saving in time and labour costs, as well as helping to maintain the track surface in the best condition possible.
The cost savings with using the global barrier system are quite significant. We save about 40 or 50% in labour costs every time we move the rail, and we relocate it about 23 times per annum, so the cost savings are quite significant.
The raw materials used by Global Barrier Systems to manufacture the PVC is of the very best quality available in the world today. It contains 20% more UV protective material than industry standard to help prevent weakening or cracking of the rail system under harsh sunlight. The impact strength of the rails is impressively 3 times better than the US standard. The Global Barrier Systems Group prides itself on getting every aspect of the manufacturing right, which in turn complements the innovative and ergonomic design of the product. It is no coincidence that this revolutionary new rail system was developed in Australia. Thoroughbred racing in Australia is dangerously competitive, with tight packs and each jockey trying to get the inside rails advantage. So, the safety of horse and rider has become paramount.
Us in Australia, for sure, we ride probably tighter than anywhere in the world, and due for that reason, we are probably pushed onto the running rail more often than not. And so, look, it's just the absolute paramount that we have the safest possible measure in place, and the MawSafe running rails, no doubt, in my opinion, the greatest I've seen.
We race fairly tight. It's a game of inches, and you know you're on a horse, not on a machine, so they can move around a bit. When a horse changes stride outside you on the fence, sometimes they can actually push you into the fence and no one's fault. So it is very important that we use as much safety as we can, not just for the jockeys but for the horses as well.
What global barrier systems have come up with is really long overdue. It's been several years in the making, but from the starting point that Dan Mawby started with to where we are today at our tracks in Victoria, we've come a long, long way, and we're very pleased about the introduction of it.
Features like the kick-out posts to protect the fallen horse and rider, along with the flexibility, strength and resilience of the rails, gives the owners, the trainer and the jockey confidence that they can compete vigorously but safely. You can see how flexible and strong the system's design is, and how this flexibility gives the impression of a height to the rails to keep the horse on the track.
I think the MawSafe running rail are great for racing. They're a lot safer. I think all the jockeys agree, and so far we've all been very happy with it.
No question that the MawSafe running rail should definitely go national, and you know, look, it's the greatest safety to come about in Victoria here, and it just should be nationwide, if not worldwide.
Another aspect of the success of this revolutionary rail system is significant racecourse management benefits.
The difficulties with relocating the old steel and aluminium rail were quite varied. Had a lot of ergonomic issues with sledgehammers and winders and staff bending, and a lot of heavy manual labour work to do that. It took us about a day and a half with a crew of about 10 staff.
Racecourses around the world invest millions of dollars into providing the best track surfaces possible.
And Benedictum win!
The system is so much easier for maintenance personnel too. The revolutionary MawSafe rails from Global Barrier Systems are making a significant impact on the Australian racing scene, with important courses choosing to install the system. The rails also come with a 20-year product warranty on the UV stability, which gives racecourse owners and management added peace of mind. And the unique design and benefits of the system have also been recognised with significant industry, design and health and safety awards. MawSafe from Global Barrier Systems.
The MawSafe plastic running rail's the best introduction in Australian racing that we've seen as far as back as I can remember. It's going to protect the lives of our members, lessen the injuries to horses and riders, and provide a great safety measure for Victorian racing and hopefully for Australian racing in the time ahead.
A rail system that ensures the thrills and excitement of thoroughbred racing are always there, but with far greater horse and rider safety and better racecourse management outcomes.